Hey there, welcome back. How y'all doing today? Back out at the range today and doing a little testing. I was going to do some 10 mil stuff, but I had the opportunity to go see if I could sit over a bait area for hogs yesterday, and I figured that it was going to be close in, so just bring my tack shotty. And I didn't really have a whole lot of buckshot available, but I did have 3 boxes of some buckshot that I bought a couple months back during Christmas, called it SAR USA. And before I got ready to go out, I told myself, you know, this VR80 Rock Island Arms tack shotty has evidence to me, it's proved to me that it needs ammunition that has a muzzle velocity of at least 1,250 or 1,275 feet per second to operate reliably, to cycle and feed and eject. And I grabbed those boxes and looked at them, and unlike every other box of shotgun ammunition I have, the boxes of the SAR USA 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck do not list the muzzle velocity on them anywhere. So I thought, well, no big kick, get online. SAR's website does not list the velocity. Any place that carried it did not list the velocity, and I thought, well, that's no biggie. I go on YouTube, you can find anything on YouTube. I found very few videos involving this ammunition, and those videos I found, none of them listed a muzzle velocity. Nobody chrono tested them. So I thought, man, I don't know if I can depend on this if I go out and set up at 21 yards to watch the entrance of a bait area, and I don't really know if it's going to be worth using. And so, man, I got to go buy some more buckshot. So, just in case, I stopped by Atwood's, shameless plug, they don't pay me for that, and picked up some Hornady Black 2 3/4 inch double-aught and brought it with me. Now, before I went to the hog shooting spot, I stopped by the range here and figured I'd just go ahead and test some of that SAR and see how it patterned and see how it functioned. So I fired 5 rounds, and I fired 3 of those rounds through the different chokes that come with this shotgun. And every one of those rounds fed reliably, and it ejected, and the weapon cycled fine. So I thought, well, I don't have to worry about that too much. But when I got to looking at the shot pattern, I was a little perplexed. It would be remiss to say that it was not at least in the category of WTF. I got some really weird patterns. Now I've seen buckshot make weird patterns. And I know that a lot of time that's due to the fact that the old school loads, just like these loads, were not possessed of a buffering agent in the shot cup. So I fired 3 rounds, 1 through each choke, and like I said, I got really weird pattern density. So I figured I'd come back out today and perform 2 test functions. Number 1, we're going to chronograph this load, and we're also, for comparison, going to chronograph the Hornady Black. Now, the Hornady Black, right on their box, it says it is 1,600 feet per second. So that's cool. Most of your old school and even modern buckshot loads usually run in the neighborhood of 1,350, 1,325, 1,350, something like that. So I'm thinking the SARs may be in that realm because they certainly function fine. But man, those patterns are weird. And it turns out full choke was the way to go because, you know, it stomped everything down, but it still gave weird pattern density, you know, weird shapes. So we're also going to fire, for pattern, we're going to fire 1 shot each of the SAR through each of the chokes, and then we're going to turn around and do the same thing with the Hornady Black. And I've got a couple targets set up down there, great big ones, and on each shot, we'll go ahead and take a photo and then paste so we know what we're dealing with. So without any further ado, the first thing we're going to do, like I said, we're going to chronograph 1 round each of this ammunition, and let's see what kind of results we get. And my friends, the bees are back. All right. Chronograph on. Don't need the sight really. And this is the first time I've ever used that Magneto Speed V3 chronograph on the shotgun. And I've got it set where it should be safe, but I sure hope that I go home with an intact chronograph, because I still can't get my hands on an old school style. All right, so stand by. Oh. Normally shotgun muzzle blast doesn't affect me much, but safety, guys and gals. Safety. Now, we're not shooting at anything other than dirt, so I'm not worried about eye protection. Alright, now the first round's going to be the SAR USA 2 3/4 inch double aught buck. And hopefully it'll give me an impressive result. I still have a chronograph, and I got an error. Well, maybe this thing ain't going to help us. Let's see if Hornady gives us a reading. Oh, sure felt it. I didn't get a reading. The bayonet's too far low of the muzzle. I didn't want to get it way up there, because if I did and something bad happened, I'd hate to destroy $300 some odd worth of equipment. So stand by, let me readjust it, and we'll see if we can reproduce something other than 2 errors. Stand by. All right, let's see what kind of velocities we get. Stand by. Wow. 1,260 feet per second. Hornady Black gives us 1,503, and I still have a chronograph. All right. All right, so now that we know what we're working with, one thing I can say is 1260, it operated reliable. It is kind of low-key compared to Hornady Black, that's for sure. So now, without any further ado, let's go ahead, turn the camera around, get it on the target, and we're going to fire 1 round of SAR, 1 round of Hornady Black at the targets, and we're going to do both of those through the cylinder. Then we're going to repeat it for modified, and then we're going to repeat it for full. So stand by, give me a chance to get reset, be right back. All right, we've got us 2 big old pieces of very bright. It's the only color I could find. Poster board, got us a little target center on each one. We're going to fire 1 round SAR, 1 round Hornady Black. SAR on the left, Hornady Black on the right, out of the improved cylinder or cylinder choke that comes with that shotgun. Then we'll come down, paste the holes. I'm not going to make you watch all that. And then we'll change the choke to modified. 1 round each again. I'll paste the holes, and then one last round each out of the full choke, and we'll see what kind of difference we get in pattern density and evenness of spread. What do you say? Stand by. All right, first round, SAR, target on the left. Improved cylinder, or what they call cylinder. Stand by. Now, one round Hornady black, target on the right. Stand by. Okay, now as you can see, the SAR buckshot, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pellets. I think maybe one of them might have went off somewhere, or it might have been 2 pellets may have gone in the same hole. On the right side, the Hornady black, we have a group that's much smaller. It's probably a good 4 inches, if not more. And the load pattern itself is more central to the point of aim. Now, you can only see 7 pastures there, but I got a feeling the other 2 probably went through that big crack that the shot cut put in there. So that's a lot better group. And like I said, the group on the left, that SAR, you see how we have 1 pellet hit the top of the red, and then there's essentially just a whole lot of area around it, and then a longitudinal line, left to right, right to left, of 4 pellets, which is kind of strange. That's just the nature of the beast, I guess. So now that we've got those pasted, stand by, and we'll switch chokes, go to the modified, and see what kind of different results we get. Alrighty then, got the choke tube changed out, got some modified, and let's repeat the process. 1 round on the left, SAR USA, and 1 round on the right, Hornady black. Stand by. Let's go check it out. All right, this is what I was talking about, one of those WTF moments. We've switched to a modified choke. And by all rights, the way they're supposed to work is modified choke's going to tighten your group up some. That's the way they say it's going to work. Well, if you'll notice, the modified shot holes I have pasted with white pastures. Now, if anything, that group actually grew in its vertical spread an inch or 2, and it seemed to tighten a little horizontally, and the shot spread is a little more even, although it is centrally located just a tad to the right, but that's okay. I don't have that weapon, I don't have that optic sighted in for that. Now, then we fired around to the Hornady black, and instead of getting a smaller group, kind of like we did on the other side, we got a somewhat just a little bit larger group in its vertical stringing, and the horizontal has remained about the same. The centralized portion of the group is right here. So that's not too bad. It's a little more even, a little more spread out than it was from the cylinder bore. But still, you would think this would be tighter. So I don't know that this is showing us the foibles of the ammunition, or maybe the idiosyncrasies of the chokes that are supplied with this weapon. I know it uses other brands of chokes, not many, but I know it does. It says it does, and That might be worth checking out. So let's go ahead and throw the full choke in and see what kind of response we get from it, because I'm curious now. Stand by. Okay, we've switched to the full choke. We have another set of rounds in, and let's see what happens with the full choke. Stand by. Wait, one? Malfunction? I heard that thing roll home. Stand by. Are we ready? Target on the left, 1 round. SAR, full choke. Target on the right, 1 round. Hornady black double op buck. Full choke. Stand by. Let's go see what we got. All right. This is something that's really unexpected. Now that's full choke tube in that shotgun, and for the most part the pattern of the SAR USA has now gotten fairly concentric as far as circle wise. It's still stringing across the bottom, but it's really no more than an inch or so smaller than the group fired by the modified. On the Hornady Black, we have an even greater horizontal stringing at the bottom. We have a hit here, a couple there. Other than that, it really dropped the center of its pattern 6 inches or better below the point of aim. If that had been the chest of an aggressor, well, yeah, he'd have some serious mid-torso wounding. Maybe some diaphragm issues, kidney, maybe liver, but that's not an instantaneous takeout by any means. He could still be up to fight. At least this pattern here is closer to the point of aim. That's definitely 3 or 4 of them in the lungs, a couple up here. Nothing in the head or the neck, nothing centrally located in the heart. So yeah, buckshot does some weird stuff, Maynard, and this proves it today. Just that one little hole right there. What and you know the rest. Stand by for a little after action. Hey, so what's your opinion on this? Mine? Well, I'm really having a hard time forming one right now. We fired both loads, the Hornady and the SAR, through all 3 chokes that come with this weapon. And for the most part, I really didn't see the changes in pattern size that I expected to see. Now, there's a caveat to that. Bird shot, BB, turkey loads, things like that. Those are all of a shot dimension that is much smaller. And it really has a uniform shot column that is produced by being in a wad or a cup. And buckshot is not loaded that way. Buckshot is in there, and it either has a buffering agent or it doesn't. Either there's something to take up that extra space and hold it kind of together as it's going down the tube, or there isn't. But you would think even so, you might get a smaller group, but that's certainly, I mean, we had dimensions one direction shrink, but extend the other way. And that's really been my experience with the foibles of buckshot. Whether it's a buffered or whether it's not, Buckshot is like a box, you know, it's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're going to get. And even that last round through the full choke, I really expected it at 21 yards, and that's not far. I fully expected those shot patterns to be a lot slimmer. Now, whether those shot pattern placements speak to the foibles of buckshot, the different styles of buckshot, or the choke tubes that came with this weapon, I couldn't tell you. The only way to test that would be to go get a different weapon with different choke tubes, fire the same stuff at the same distance, and see if it made any difference. And honestly, I think you'd be hard-pressed to do that. Passing buckshot through the end of the tube is going to disturb that shot column, and it's very large pieces of lead. They're not held together in a wad cup, and they're going to spread. That's a given. So even though it was fun, even though it was enjoyable, and I know that at least now it operates in my weapon and will do so reliably, if I turn it loose on pigs, there better be a hell of a lot of them in a group, side by side, because it's going to be tough unless they're 10 feet from me. Granted, I think at 10 feet wouldn't be an issue. But 21 yards, it's an issue. Well, anyway, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you had a little fun today. I hope you got out and enjoyed this absolutely gorgeous Sunday here in the first week of February. My birthday's coming up tomorrow. And I had a blast. And shooting buckshot isn't my most favorite thing to do in the world, but now and then you just got to get out and have a little fun with it. So I'm glad you guys stopped by. I'm glad you got to come out and see me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit. And hopefully I'll have something else lined up in the next week or two for something a little different. And at that time, if I get out here with nice weather, hopefully I'll see you good folks somewhere downrange. Bye.